So hello everyone, it is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and today we're gonna get into the worst products of 2021, at least for me. So let me start by saying, like, some of these products I do like. It's just more of compared to other things I have tried this year that they're not that great. One thing I did have, I was gonna talk about, I decided not to because it's like a collab palette, and it's like I don't want to like crap on someone's collab, but I just don't like it at all. So I'll say that, but I'm not gonna say whose it was because, you know, that's not very nice. Anyway, let's get started. So some of these things I feel like you won't be surprised about because I said that they were mediocre, and like if I didn't have them in my collection I'd be fine. Starting with this Clé de Peau Radiant Foundation Matte. Sorry, Radiant Fluid Foundation Matte out of the shade 090 Very Deep Ochre. Again, I don't know who the hell Clé de Peau been talking to, but this is not very deep at all. I'd say this is deep being nice, but where the hell this is very deep, I don't know. It's not at all. And for this price point, I have other foundations that are way better. Like, y'all know I love my Valentino one to death. It's amazing. I like my Gucci one, and both of those are under the price point of $130. I'll even take the La Mer one over this, and y'all know I wasn't really that big a fan of La Mer for the price point, but for the price point it does a million times better than this does, and this was 130 bucks. Now, of course, we know I didn't pay 130 bucks because I'm too cheap for all that. I caught it on sale. I do love complexion, but there's limits even for me, and that one, yeah, I wouldn't pay 130 bucks because it was exactly what I expected it to be. Nothing special for its price point. Okay, let's get into the next foundation. Next one I have to talk about is this Ultra Wear All Day Comfort Flawless Finish Foundation from Chanel. Now, I know my friend Arsenio really likes this foundation, but I wasn't impressed with it for the price that they charged. Now, they're not charging Clé de Peau prices, but again, I have the Valentino, and I have the Gucci, and I have the like Guerlain one, and I feel like all those are better than this. I only bought this to try because I had ended up getting the bronzer and the setting powder to try with this, but I wasn't really impressed with either one of them. I just forgot to bring the setting powder with me. It wasn't anything special either. Now, that's not to say it was the worst product, but I mean, like, compared to all the other foundations I tried, this ain't it. I got stuff that's so much better. That's around the same price point. The next one I have is the Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation from Shishedo. I wear the shade 510 Suede. Now, I think I was just disappointed in this product because it isn't as good as the original, the Synchro Skin, the self-refreshing one. It's not as good as that one, so that's why I was disappointed by this, because it looks nice on the skin and it works just fine. Another downside to this is because it's radiant, I can only wear it now during the winter time, which is fine because winter is the majority of what Chicago is. We barely have summer, we have lots of winter, so I'm like, that's fine. It's just more of, I was expecting it to be just as good as the original one, and to me it's not, so that's why it's a fail to me. The product isn't bad. I still wear it. I wore it like a couple of times, I think last week. It's just, based upon all the other stuff I have, it's just like, oh, okay, this is it. Oh. So the next thing I have is the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator Tinted Skin Veil. What shade is this? I have the shade Deep. Now, mind you, it was hard for me to find this in store. You're a drugstore brand. Why did I have to search high and low to find this product, first of all? And the only reason I got this product is because my friend Serena Rose here on YouTube, she was talking about how wonderful this was for her to mix in with her foundation so she wouldn't get as much coverage, but she still get the hydration because she has dry skin. I thought it'd be fine for the wintertime to mix in with, like, you know, a matte foundation, or just mix in with a high coverage foundation to give it a little bit more hydration, a high coverage matte foundation or something like that. So I was like, I'll try it out at the drugstore. I had to search to so many drugstores to find this, and then when I tried it, it wasn't even like worth the hype in my personal opinion. But she has dry skin and I have oily combination, so that might be why. But the fact that I had to search high and low for a drugstore product, and you're supposed to be drugstore, and for most of the stores I went to, they only had up to the shade like medium, so I had to hunt down just to find the shade Deep in store. Like I said before about them, though, I feel like they taking the Physicians Formula route, and it's like, if it's fine, you're taking that route. But I mean, that just means I need to declutter a lot of Wet n Wild stuff, because it's like, if you ain't finna cater to me, I'm not finna keep talking about you, because plenty of other people will. Next, and I feel like you should have seen this thing coming. Oh, hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell no. This product is absolute trash. I guess I'm gonna have to rub it on my face and use it as like the regular Hydro Grip primer, because like underneath the eyes for concealing, y'all saw that video was trash. I know somebody commented and told me I needed to let it dry or something like that, but it's like, sis, I had used it 5 times after that video launched when you sent me that message, and it isn't worth my time. It doesn't help the concealer last in any way or show any difference. Like, I'd rather use my Bobbi Brown Enriched Face Base. At least I feel like it does something. This literally does nothing. And then when you put in your eyelids, it doesn't make your eyeshadow last any longer or do anything spectacular or better to make it do anything. So this is a useless product. They shouldn't be calling it Hydro Grip. I've seen other people say the same thing. It worked for them. So it's not like it's just me out here putting it on wrong. I've tried 5 different times. Like I said, after that video, this product is just trash. And like I told y'all in the video, don't waste your coins, don't waste your time. Just buy the regular Hydro Grip and go on with your life. Because whatever the fuck that is not what it is at all. Utter and absolute trash. That is literally the worst product I have tried in 2021. That right there. Complete trash. Next, I have the Westman Atelier, what is this? Lit Up Highlighting Stick in the shade Nectar. I do not like this product at all. I don't see what its purpose is. It just looks like glossy film that you rubbed on your face. You know how the rice has that film over the top of it when you cook it? It looks like that on your face. So I don't, why? What is this? It doesn't serve a purpose if that's what it does. I thought it was terrible. I like the blush stick just fine, and I like the bronzer stick if they come out with deeper shades, but she seems to have a problem making bronzer for anyone who's deeper than medium. So I don't know, but yeah, this is trash. I'm so glad I got it in a like little set and I didn't buy it individually, because I'd have been pissed off. Again, I've heard other people say that they don't like that product either, so it's not just me. That's just not what it is. Oh, I grabbed the wrong thing. I meant to grab a concealer, but this, what is it? Tarte Ultra Creamy Shape Tape Ultra Cream Concealer. I have the shade 47S Tan Deep Sand. This stuff is terrible. Like, I felt like it blended away to nothing. It didn't give any coverage like Shape Tape does. And then I didn't feel like, you know, it didn't really serve a purpose. Like, I'm going to keep it and highlight my face with it, because with concealers that don't work underneath my eyes, I usually just highlight my face. So that's why sometimes I tell y'all I use like 2 and 3 different concealers, because I can use one to highlight my face to justify keeping it, since I know it's just going to be thrown away. Then I can use the other one that actually works underneath my eyes, So this is a highlight the face concealer, because it didn't do anything for underneath my eyes. It was terrible. And like, I hadn't tried anything from Tarte in 100 years, but I was like, I'll give this a try, especially because it was on sale. I think during 21 Days of Beauty it was 50% off. And even at 50% off, I don't think it was worth it. So that's the worst complexion product I tried, and then the Milk is the worst primer I tried this year. Just terrible. I also didn't like the Catrice True Skin Concealer. I think it's terrible. I know my friend It's Glam XO Beauty really likes it, but I don't like that at all. I just think it's awful. It didn't do anything for me. It didn't give any type of real coverage. That's another one you just have to highlight your face with. But it's like, I wasn't even willing to do that. I literally just gave it away to my cousins when I went to their house for Thanksgiving. The ones I told you about. I just gave them to them because I was like, I can't. No. No, ma'am. No. Now, the foundation is absolutely amazing. You will see that in the best of video. But the concealer, just no. Just don't waste your coins. I know it's only $6. But don't even waste $6. Next, I have the Persona Bronze Multi-Stick in the shade Sahara. Now, this is the darkest shade they have, and as you can see, it's not that dark. So, the formula was okay on it. It's just more of the lack of shade range for me is why this product's in here. And aside from the fact I have so many cream bronzers, I feel like do so much more, and this is just meh. It's like I have the one from Burberry, the contour stick, that's amazing. And then I have, you know, just a lot of cream bronzers and jars that are amazing. So it's like, when you have all that competition and it's just that, I'm just like, like, I've actually used up a whole Burberry contour stick. That's how much I love that thing. So I'm going to end with the palettes, because I have a few of those. But I got like 2 or 3 more products I'm going to show you. Like I told y'all, the, what is this? Chanel Le Beige Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream. First of all, it took y'all entirely too long to come up with this damn shade. Then second of all, this shade Tan Deep Bronze isn't even that fucking tan or deep. So it's like, it took you forever to come out with it, and then you still didn't come up with deep enough shades. And then according to the late great Mel Thompson, they changed the formula on it, so it's not even, you know, like what it used to be anymore. But yeah, so as you can see, I haven't been using mine because I paid for it, and I usually use it just contour my nose, and then I still have to put like a darker powder on top just so you can visibly see that I did anything. So it's like, that's another reason I don't like this product, because it's like, it wasn't worth it. And then Mel said that the new ABH cream bronzer is the same as the old Chanel formula. So I'm like, if that's the case, I wish I had just saved my money and just waited on that one. But it's like, I did it for review purposes, for you all to know if it should be worth it or not. It's a good product. It's just, like I told y'all, some stuff's going to be here because it's like a lack of shade range. And it's like, we in 2021. Why the fuck can't you make dark enough shades for everyone still? It's 2021. What the fuck is this? Next, I have the Giorgio Armani, what is this? Luminous Silk Glow Fusion Powder. Now, I do like this powder. It's just more of, I don't like the undertone and color of it. And when the Dior one came out, I was like, that's a million times better than this. So I immediately stopped like using this, because this has a weird like reddish peaches undertone. And y'all know I don't really like reddish undertone things unless it's summertime. So it's like, after summer was over, I didn't reach for a touch of this thing like again. Aside from the fact, I feel like, I think after my shade, it's not that many shades after that. So I wasn't really feeling that either. I think it's like one more, maybe 2 shades after this. So although the product is okay, like the Dior one is a million times better. And it gives you more options when it comes to tones. I like the fact that they did neutrals for everything. So that way, you know, it could work on more people. Whereas with Giorgio Armani, they just did red and I wasn't feeling that. Plus they like to do a lot of peachish like undertones and I wasn't really feeling that either. So next I have the Dior Forever Rosewood Glow Highlighter. Now with this one, it's just more of the color. Like it said rosewood, so I was thinking like, you know, it was going to be a rose gold tone. And it just has like this weird like pinkish tone to it. So when I put this on, it like has this weird silver undertone to it that I really do not like, which really makes me not like this product. Because Dior highlighters are great. It's just with this one, it's more like a color thing for me. So I usually have to mix this with the LYS Rose Gold highlighter to make it work for me, which makes it, you know, not worth the purchase for me, because it's like, this highlighter costs 50 bucks and I still gotta mix you with another highlighter to make you look the way I want you to look to begin with. I could have just bought the other highlighter and called it a day and said skip you. So this one was a fail for me, but I didn't want to keep buying the same highlighters, and I feel like that's the problem. A lot of times they come up with the same colors 50 times over. So they have like a coppery bronzy tone one, they have a peachy corally tone one, and then they have like a pink one, and then that'll be it. And that seems to be all they ever do when it comes to highlighter. So I was happy to see that they came out with a different one, which is why I bought this color, but I was very disappointed in the way it looks on my skin tone. I usually, like I said, have to mix it with other highlighters in order to make it work, and it's like, if it's 50 bucks, I shouldn't have to mix it with anything. So that's why it's disappointing to me, or the worst product to me, because it's like I had to mix it with something else in order to make it work, but I already paid you 50 bucks for it. So why do we have to mix it with anything else? I shouldn't have to mix with anything else. So I should probably change mine to disappointing products of 2021 instead of like worst products, because some of these products aren't worse. It's just more of their shade ranges are lacking, or the color isn't working for me, or something like that. So I think I'm gonna change mine to the worst products of 2021. Sorry, not worst products, the most disappointing products of 2021 for me, like this Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Universal Unlocked palette. The bronzer in here still isn't deep enough. Just because you got 2 blushes in here to work for people my skin tone, like, we still got to bronze like everybody else. So it's like, this bronzer ain't doing nothing. The highlighter is nice, the blushes are nice. I don't think I've ever used, I think I used this powder for the video for you all, but I haven't touched it like since. So it's like, I got other face palettes I'm gonna reach for more, use more, because I'm not trying to get this brand anytime shine or anything. I just bought this to like help you all as far as decision making with, but I don't recommend it. I ain't impressed by it. I don't care. Thank you. Have a good night. I know I'm probably hearing some people in the comment section, but they're finally trying to change whatever they had a million years to change. The only reason they changed is because their core audience told their asses that they were wrong and stopped buying. If Samantha March and Andrea Montanalo and all the other influencers had still went along with them and buying their stuff, they wouldn't change shit for you. So please don't think otherwise. Their core audience said that's enough, you need to stop. And that's when they changed. They didn't care about you. They weren't concerned about you. Please remember it. Well. Next, I have the ABH Primrose palette. Now, I wasn't impressed with this palette at all. That Norvina 5, now that's fire. That formula is amazing. I don't know what was happening with this, but to me, this is subpar. I heard other people saying it was really good. It was classic ABH formula. In my personal opinion, it's not. I'm not impressed by this palette at all. I have to hold it like this because the shade Rose Water Shoulder Broken. But yeah, I wasn't impressed with this palette at all. Like, it just seems like more of the same, and they just added like some more, I don't know, I guess some of these like various tone shades. I don't know. I guess because they had been gone so long, and when they came back, I was expecting more. And then when I got this, I was just like, oh. And then the formula didn't seem that great on it either, so I was just like, oh, this is what we're doing. Oh, okay. I wasn't even impressed in the slightest bit. Like the blushes are weird tones. One doesn't work for my skin tone at all, and then the other one looks like some weird, like really bad orange bronzer for like someone with a tan skin tone. I don't know. It just wasn't doing anything for me. Like absolutely nothing. So that's why it's a disappointment to me. Next, I have the Colourpop Digital Playground Palette. If you all remember when I did the video of the Y2K collection from Colourpop, I said this palette sucked. Like, this is my least favorite one. Like, I felt like it was difficult to blend and work with. And I feel like the Haunt Heat, the Two Haunt palette from the Two Haunt collection, I believe that's what it's called, works better. So this one to me is a fail. I don't like this palette at all. I only keep my collection for like reference or whatever, because like I don't want to have to buy something again when I already have it. But when I move, I will probably most likely get rid of it, just because it's like it's not impressive at all. Like, this is just a disappointment to me. Let's get into this palette. So we got the Glowgasm face palette, and you like, how you get a Glowgasm face palette? This is the old one, because she didn't even think enough of the, you know, darker community to make a second face palette like she did the first time when she came up with the first palette. And I hear the formula is better. I can't tell you. I have the original one where the formula to me wasn't that good. So the fact that she didn't even think enough to come out with two for everyone, she just came out with one, speaks volumes to me. Either way, this one sucked. So if you was thinking you was gonna go back and buy this one, which I don't think they sell anymore, you did miss out. It sucks. According to Morgan, the new one's better, but this one sucks. So, and if you're my skin tone, you ain't gonna get to try the new one, because she didn't think enough of you to make one. Sorry, that's just what it is. Next I have the brunette palette from Melt. Now I heard the Rust palette is really good according to Beauty and the Frizz. I didn't buy it because we know I'm not big on neutrals, but like I think I liked the weird wine tone mustardy-esque type shades in this one. That's what made it unique and fun to me. As you all can see, I changed mine around though, because it was like two super light shades I couldn't do anything with. I kept the shade that Beauty and the Frizz says works for her, which is this shade Court. And then I think I took these. I'm pretty sure I took these two shades out of the Gemini palette to make it this palette more cohesive for someone like me. The only reason I ended up with this is because I bought it from the YouTuber Leori here on YouTube. She was selling it on her Poshmark for 25 bucks. So that's how I ended up getting this palette, because I am a Melt stan. So I thought it was a nice enough palette to put in my collection. I just knew I was going to take some of the shades out. So I took the two out that didn't work for me. And then the rest of these worked for me pretty well. I used it and compared it to the Honey palette. But it was just disappointing to me, because it's like, you know, we didn't get the cool packaging we normally get. And then like the shades didn't work for everybody. I mean, I know they came out with a Rust one, and I think that one was supposed to work for everybody. I'm not really big on neutrals, but this was just disappointing to me because of how many light shades there were in it. Like, y'all saw the front of it. It was like the majority of the mattes were light, because you got to think you got 1, 2, and 3. So these 3 right here, I would have most likely been able to use. So it's like I'm only supposed to use, that means I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 shades in the palette. It's like, damn, Melt. It's an 8-pan palette, and you know, although I can use the majority of them, it's like if I want to do any other kind of look, I most likely can't, because you know, I would only be able to use these 5. So it's like I have this for inner corner or this for inner corner, and then I always have to do a look with these 3 shades right here. So that's why I was disappointed to me. I mean, I know makeup is subjective and they make stuff for everybody. I'm not mad about that. I'm just saying I was disappointed by it, because it's like, you know, they usually have a little bit more depth and grunginess to their palettes, and the fact that it was lacking. But I feel like ever since they got in Sephora, they've been making a whole bunch of palettes just to try to keep up with their like obligation, and that's why some of them have been that great. Because I heard Millennium Pinks isn't that great. I haven't tried my Millennium Pinks yet, so I can't tell you. If you all remember, I hauled it in, where is it? Oh yeah, here it is. If you all remember, I hauled it in my Black Friday haul, I think, or I showed it to y'all when I bought them Mari Hossa palette. But this is what it looks like. This is what the inside looks like. I have not tried it at all, so I can't tell you how it is. I plan on trying it eventually. I think I'm gonna take it home and try it when I go to work this week, so I can get an idea of how it works and how it fits for me. But I have not tried it at all, so I can't speak on its quality. I can only tell you what other people said, which was that it sucked. So I'm digging in the drawer to get more palettes I have to take home, because I need to do more looks. And then I had to take one out that I thought I had here, and I was right, but I gotta review it. It's the Supreme Bronze one. I need to compare it to the new one that's coming out. I'm sorry, the new one that came out. It's sitting over there in the corner where I just laid the stuff. Next, I have Tom Ford Eye Colored Quad in metallic denim. So I'm usually disappointed by Tom Ford quads. I don't know why I keep trying with them. I guess I was disappointed with this one because I don't know, I wanted it to be more than what it was. Because the colors look so beautiful in it. Like, look at the inside of this. Like, the colors in this look right up my alley. You got the blues at the bottom. You got, like, this taupeish looking shade right here. And then we got my inner corner shade right here. So it's like I could have outer V, lid, inner corner, and then, like, put a dark gray pencil and maybe rub this on the lower lash line. I had, like, an eye look right here. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like the quality wasn't worth the price point. Although I feel like that a lot of time when it comes to Tom Ford. So I mean, like, I'm not really surprised. Although he did surprise me this year with like a couple of things that you'll see in my best of 2021 video. But for the most part, I'm usually just disappointed and think he's overpriced. And this quad wasn't any exception. It just reminded me why I don't buy his quads at full price. I usually go to the company cosmetic store because they're just too much. There are a few that I like, but they're like far and few. So that's another disappointing product for me this year. Next is Alter Ego, like the brand. They're just a disappointment to me because it's like, I feel like we all know they're secretly like Bad Habit and they come out with the same packaging and everything else, and then like the quality isn't as good. The funny thing is, I know Amy Loves Makeup really likes Alter Ego, but she didn't like Bad Habit, and I'm like the total opposite. I don't like anything Alter Ego has come out with for the most part. I keep this one for reference because it's a dupe for the gold palette, and you can't get the gold palette anymore. And then I think I have the dupe for the Sunrise palette, but I'm not impressed with anything they come out with pretty much. I decluttered my Artemis because I thought it sucked. Their cream and powder formula is just absolutely terrible. And then I decluttered the Bloom one, was absolutely utter trash. Like, I was so upset when I did that video, and that palette was just so awful. I cannot. So I'm just disappointed with the brand as a whole. I tried their brushes and they were okay, but they weren't like exceptional either. So it's like, I don't know where this brand is going with their like formulas or whatever, but I'm not trying to follow. Like, they came out with the Shadow Kiss one that's supposed to be a dupe for the Glam palette. I didn't buy it. I was just like, yeah, I don't want it. I don't want any part of it. They're just not hitting. It's not hitting for me, so they can keep it. Next I have the Natasha In The Know palette. Now, although I do like this palette, compared to the retro palette she came out with after this, the formula in this isn't nearly as good as that. When I had it at the time, I thought it was fine. The formula was fine to me, but it's like the retro formula is just so much better till it just makes this one look like it's lacking now. And it's just like, oh, that's it? Oh, okay. I still turned out a really nice look, and you all actually asked me to do to see how I did the look, so I did a short of it on Instagram with, sorry, not on Instagram, on YouTube here with this palette. It's just having tried the formula and the retro and all the other palettes she's come out with recently, it's just a disappointment. I just saw there's a mini like Biba or whatever, but I was like, yeah, I don't want that. We all know the Biba was just really boring. The last palette I have to talk about, and I hate to do this, but it's like, we all know like Fenty is not known for eyeshadows at all, and this palette is no exception. So I have the Fenty Beauty Bomb Posse Mega Mix and Match eyeshadow palette. Now, I will say this is the best formula of eyeshadows that I've tried from Fenty, because when I got those first Snap Shadows, they were not what it was, and I was like, oh no. I got the green one, and I like that one okay, but it's like, it's just okay. And for the price point you pay for these palettes, I feel like it should be more than okay. So this is what the inside of it looks like. This is actually one of my most watched videos this year. That's the funny part, because it's like, I don't even like these types of tones. If you all know me or have been on this channel any time, you know this is not my aesthetic at all. My problem is all the colors blend too closely together. Like, this color is too close to this shimmer. So when I put both of them on, I couldn't even tell the difference like I do with the gradient like I normally do. Like right now, you can see I have like 2 or 3 different shades on. You see when I turn my head this way? You see that, and then I change it and turn. You can see the different colors. With this, when I did it, you couldn't see the difference in anything. The only difference you saw was my inner corner, because I used like the bright pink. I feel like if I had stuck to the shades over here, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference with it at all. The only reason I kept this palette was for reference, and because it is one of my most watched videos, was like, you know, it's kind of like a memorabilia thing to me. But it's like, I don't like the formula on this palette compared to other formulas I have tried. Not that it's bad, it's just, it's mediocre for what they charge, and that's my problem. Like, if you wasn't charging so much, like if that was a $29 palette, then okay, it's fine for 29 bucks. It's great quality for 29 bucks, but it's like, I think that palette is like 44 or something like that. I feel like it's close to 50 if I remember correctly. Don't quote me because I'm not 100%, but I'm like, for that price point, I need more, I need better. I need you to step up your game a lot, and I feel like it was lacking in that area. Oh, I got one, sorry, I thought I was done. I got one more to talk about. The Viseart palettes from this year. Again, they only made one that actually works for people my skin tone without that bone color shade they like to put in all these little palettes. If y'all remember, if you saw my video, then you know I commented on it again. It's like every time they come out with the more affordable ones, they don't ever make one that works for anybody in my skin tone other than like one like this with generic neutral tones. So if you like me, who actually likes color and don't want to wear neutral tones, you can't buy any of these. And if you do, you're gonna have to buy like more than one to be able to take that bone color shade out and be able to do something with it. So it's like, that was disappointing to me, because it's like, when you come to reasonably priced stuff, I'm getting left out unless I want to be a boring neutral person, and I'm not a boring neutral person. So, and literally like every single one that had color in it had one of those bone color shades. There was not one that just had like a normal shade that you could just use to deepen up and then use the shimmers on it. So that was totally disappointing. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are dimes. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.